Hey y'all, so I am back on your screen and today we're going to be talking about the ugly truth about universities here in Ghana, and we are going to start right now. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is international students' fees. So this is crazy, but a lot of people might think, oh, Ghana is in West Africa. West Africa have a lot of underdeveloped countries. It's not going to be expensive. Like, sweetie, if you have that mindset, you better start to change that, because Ghana have few of the most expensive universities in West Africa, and it's really expensive to come to school here in Ghana as an international student. So let me just put that out there. So the least amount an international student can actually pay in Ghana is 2,000 at minimum, and at max the highest amount a local student can pay here in Ghana is around $500 or $600. That's it. That's like their highest. So look at the wide margin between international students and local students. It's really crazy. But if you want a better education, you need to pay a good amount of money. There are a couple of scholarships for international students, but it have too much conditions that comes with it, and it's just crazy. And oh, let me just tell you, even if your school offers scholarship for international students, you don't get those scholarships during your first year. You have to pay your full fees. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is that there is no exception for admissions. So if you think that because, well, my parents are rich, so I'm gonna get into university by just paying some cash, well, sweetie, that don't work around here. There is no exception. If they give you a list of things for admission, you have to submit them. The only thing that you can actually do is, if you don't have the document at the time, you can actually write your school and tell your school, oh, I'm gonna submit this document at a specific time, and I would like you guys to give me from now until this time to submit my documents. If not, you're gonna sit home until you can provide these documents. So sometimes when the school accepts you and the due time pass for you to submit those documents, two things. It's either you're gonna not have a degree after you graduate until you submit those documents, or you're just they're gonna drop you out, like you're gonna get kicked out of school for your documents. Because there's this thing that they do here, it's called document assessment. Every semester they literally go through students' document to verify who submitted all of their documents and who haven't, and it is a huge thing here. So sweetie, I'll say this again, there is no exception for you and there is no exception for me. We have to submit all of our documents to be a full student at a university here. So next thing is that there is a possibility that you might not be getting a degree during graduation. It have nothing to do with your documents and stuff like that. So if you're a student who have a bad record with your faculties, like every single staff in the entire school, and you're someone who doesn't show up for class on a regular, and you're also bad at your schoolwork, or you just don't show up for anything at all and pop up doing exams and stuff, sweetie, you're gonna waste 4 years of your life in university without actually getting a degree. So I'll advise that if you're someone who is like that, just drop those acts within the next 4 years or 4 or 3 years, and you can survive afterwards. But if you're that one person who is sluggish and you just don't care about anything, why waste your fees when you can literally start a business or something with those fees that you're gonna pay for those 3 or 4 years? Like, just don't do that. If you pay your fees, just make those sacrifices, pay attention to your stuff, and you're gonna be good. Okay, so there's this thing called internal assessment, and it is something that determines whether you're qualified for your final exams or whether you are not. And internal assessment is literally like your class activity, your quizzes, your assignments, your attendance, and your mock exam. All of those things are supposed to carry 40 marks, but most teachers or lecturers are generous enough to give above those marks because they don't want their students to like fall back. So a thing in my school, I don't know about other schools, but a thing in my school is if you don't score at least 20 marks for internal assessment, automatically, sweetie, you fail. Like, even if you sit an exam and you pass that exam with flying colors, you fail because you couldn't prove to the school that you couldn't even make 20 marks. How come you got those marks for your finals? It don't make sense. So take your internal assessment seriously. There are a couple of students who will come to school and the next day you see they're not in school, and well, I don't know why, but I think it's important for students to actually like take those things seriously. Some people will be like, if I fail an assignment or a quiz, I can catch up for my finals. Do you hear yourself? That don't make sense. I'm not gonna bash anyone, but if you want to come to school here, take your internal assessment class activities seriously because it's a huge deal breaker for you. I'm gonna leave it at that. So the next thing to be aware of is that you're gonna have a lot of class projects. So one of the things I've noticed here is that in universities in Ghana, they take practical works more seriously than project works. I don't know about certain universities, but a lot of universities I know about here, especially private universities, they're top-notch when it comes to practical stuff. You're gonna meet up with project, just expect that every semester of your life here. Right now as I speak, I have 2 projects pending, and I also am awaiting 2 other projects to be announced by my other lecturers, so pray for me. Okay, so here's how the whole project thing works. For my school, it takes up 40% of your finals. So some lecturers will go as far as making it 40 marks for your project. Some will go lower as 20 marks for your project, because like every finals you're supposed to like work for 60 marks. So if a lecturer gives you a project that is worth 40 marks, that means when you sit finals you're only working towards 20 marks. So project is a huge deal. Protocols, you have to apply everything you've done in the classroom in your project, and I really enjoyed those type of things because it gives me the ability to do research. But I just want you to know that if you come to school here and if you're not interested in project work, probably find a university that is more interested in theory. Another thing is, there is not a day in a university here in Ghana that is called no good lecture day. Every single lecture day is important. Apparently the only time you can say no good lecture day is if your lecturer tells you, okay, class is canceled. But if there is an actual lecture going on and you choose not to come to school, then my dear, you're missing on a lot, because every lecture is important. You miss one lecture, you miss a lot. That's like a thing. Seriously, I've experienced that once and I've learned my lesson. I got sick. I literally almost cried because when I went back to class, I was completely lost, and that took a toll on me, even though I managed to get out of it. But it's not a good thing though. So if you don't have an excuse to miss class, or you just want to go hang out with friends and decide not to attend your classes, well, at least you know what you're depending on, because it's not a pretty sight. It's just not. So do not have the habit of missing your lectures. You're gonna miss a lot of things, and if you're not smart like me, then we are definitely gonna be calling ourselves to failure. So, and another thing, if you miss a class, they don't announce quiz days or assignments. So you miss a class, you miss a quiz, you miss 10 marks from internal assessment. Last but not the least, every faculty in your institution or your university or your college is important, because you are just not allowed to disrespect anyone. There are people who actually disrespect people, and it's not cool. I'm saying every faculty is important, or every staff, because people just have the habit and be like, janitors or cleaners are not part of staff members, and that's not true. The same respect you're going to give to your lecturer, or the same respect you're going to give to your head of department or the head of the school or whatever it is, you have to give that same respect to your janitor or cleaner in the school, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be sitting in a clean classroom. You cannot have a proper class in a dirty classroom, or you cannot use a dirty bathroom. So why not respect those people that actually take care of such things in your school or anywhere? It just don't make sense. But respect everyone, because if you don't, it's gonna be marked against you. Honestly, in my school, they will literally expel you if you disrespect a cleaner or janitor or whatever you want to call it. So just be on your best behavior and respect everyone if you really want to come to school here. Alright, you guys, so this is the end of this little video. That's the ugly truth, and I feel like those are things people don't talk about a lot, but it's happening. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to see you guys on my next video, and don't forget to leave in the comment section contents you want to see or hear about Ghana, and I'll definitely do that. I love you guys. Stay true to yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.